Hey guys, boy, I got some crazy awesome information for you here. Formation, in quote unquote formation. In my studies to become, hopefully to become a grand jury administrator, I am learning tons and tons and tons. Now in my previous videos, I have mentioned the grammar. The grammar does supersede what I'm talking about now. What I'm going to be talking about is your Constitution, the United States Constitution, or the Constitution of your country. I know some of my subscribers are not from the United States. Go take a look at your Constitution and read that sucker, okay? Hopefully it's at least similar to the Constitution of the United States, because our Constitution is awesome. It's far from perfect, but it is awesome. It is absolutely awesome. So check this out. Now, I'm sure in my previous videos, if you've watched them all, you've heard me talk about how we have the right to travel, right? You have the free right to travel anywhere without a driver's license, and most people don't believe that. Well, let me tell you what it says here. And I can't remember if this is, I think this is in the Constitution, but if not, it's in the, what the heck's the name of that? Am Jurisprudence. Am Jurisprudence, volumes 16, I believe. Okay? Check this out. You have the right to travel freely and unencumbered anywhere in the United States. Period. Absolutely period. Okay? Now, if you look up, and if you really want to know this stuff, take the time to look up these Supreme Court cases, because it puts it into context for you. So, the Constitution, whether it stated it explicitly or not, it gave us the free right to travel unencumbered anywhere in the United States, okay? That's a right. It's our right. Well, here we have Murdoch versus the state of Pennsylvania. And what was the Supreme Court decision? No right shall be converted into a privilege. Get that? Your right, your God-given right, your creator-given right, your whoever you think your creator was, or whether you think there is a creator or not, it doesn't matter. All the rules are based upon that we have a creator, okay? So, keep your personal feelings aside and adjudicate your republic, okay? I'll go further. You have Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham, Alabama. We'll go further on that note. Their decision was, no state may convert a secured liberty into a privilege and issue a license and a fee for it. If they do, you could ignore it with impunity. You see, it doesn't matter if there was a law or a statute, okay, that was passed the day after the Constitution was ratified. It doesn't matter. It's unconstitutional. It doesn't matter if it was 100 years after or a day after. And furthermore, the date of its inception is when it is unconstitutional, not when someone finds out about it and says, hey, that's unconstitutional. From here on out, that is no longer constitutional. No, it never was constitutional. You don't even have to revise it because it doesn't exist. It's unconstitutional. It never was, so to speak. Pretty crazy stuff here. And so, and I'll go further here. Today's law cannot abridge laws in the past regarding the Constitution. Period. Period, period, the end. Okay? Everything from before is brought forward or made stronger or delineated in the people's favor, in our favor. That's how the Constitution was written. The Constitution is a limited liability contract, limited on our part, and not limited at all as far as what the government is or has to do for us. We're not limited. The government is limited. We have no limits. The only limits we have are our rights, which come with responsibilities. If you don't know your rights, you don't have a right, right? If you don't know it, you don't have it, period. And so this is why you can see possibly, hopefully, how important it is for you to know your rights. As I've said before, the Constitution is an ironclad contract enforceable in a court of law pursuant to the statutes or the fraud statutes. This is the way it is. This is the way it has always been. And it's in the Constitution. Guess what? Nothing can go against the Constitution. Everybody's all bummed out that Donald Trump's no longer in office. I'd rather have him than the other guy, but it doesn't really matter to me. You know why? Because they're all lawbreakers. They all have committed treason. Okay? Treason by sedition. How? By going against the Constitution, acting unconstitutionally. Every executive order that's ever been written and adjudicated is unconstitutional and is treason. How many did Trump write? I think Biden just signed like 40 of them, right? You know what it says in the Constitution, or in one of these later Supreme Court cases, which I think it's in the Constitution. A lot of the book it's hard to sift through, but there are some parts that are way more vital than others. Okay, but it says that the person should be taken out. Okay, your elected representative, if they go against the Constitution, act unconstitutionally, they are to be taken out at high noon and hung, and the body is to be left there until midnight, not to be removed, as to remind other elected officials not to take their oath of office lightly. Look it up. You understand what I'm saying here? Yeah, we're all being victims of these guys, and we have all the power. Except, guess what? We don't have any power if we don't know it, do we? All of these things that are being done to Americans are being done because they don't know their own rights. And that's going to change, okay? It certainly is changing for me more and more every day. You can look up the, get a chance, if you do get a chance, get the Federalist Papers, get the Mentor edition. Look up Volume 6, Page 2, Cohen versus Virginia, okay? Volume 394, U.S., page 618, Shapiro versus Thompson. All citizens are free to travel throughout the United States uninhibited by statutes, rules, or regulations which unreasonably burden or restrict this movement. If a law has no other purpose than to chill assertions of constitutional rights by penalizing those who choose to exercise them, it is patently unconstitutional. Get that? That's just, this is our country, okay? And you know what? A lot of these things aren't just from our country, okay? It started with the Magna Carta. Then you had the Declaration of Independence. Then you had the Articles of Confederation. Then you had the United States Constitution. Then you had the Virginia, whatever the hell that is, Acts of Concession. Can't read my writing. And there's a bunch more after that. So it starts with the Magna Carta. Any right that the people had in the Magna Carta, none of them were taken away. They were only added to. And even in the Constitution, as beautiful as a document that it is, it doesn't put in all of your rights. You have the right to get married. You have the right to fall in love. You have the right to have a job. You have the right to pick your nose. Are those in the Constitution? No. Do you have the right to do them? Yes. You see what I'm saying? You don't just have the rights that are in your Constitution. You have way more rights than that. Those are the ones that they had the mind to write down, mostly because they were extremely vital to your freedom and your liberty. In the past, I've said bad things about liberty, but I've come to realize that there is a natural law in the universe, and you have to follow that law. You're not free. The only way you could be free is if you're an angel. But you know what? We all have tendencies to do bad things, and our founders knew that. and they put certain clauses and statements and writings in this to ensure that we won't screw each other over, that we won't cause harm to each other or ourselves, right? You realize that a right is not something that is given to you by the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, okay? Those documents simply are your rights written down, and not even all of your rights. But they don't give you anything. You have those rights when you were born. Case closed. So let me just go into another one. Okay, so the enabling clause. Whenever we went from the Magna Carta to the Declaration of Independence, there's an enabling clause, and that's, you know, how a law came into being. Everything from before has to be brought forward and made stronger or delineated in the people's favor. And so I hope you're getting an idea. If you get a chance, these are some books that I haven't looked up yet. I learned about these in training recently. The Sovereign Individual. Here's another one, The Global Sovereign's Handbook. I've never even read these. I've never even seen them. Okay. He even talks about one called the 1776 Musical, and it actually has actors playing the voices of George Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson. Here's another one for you. Just, you know, this is kind of all over the place, but you've heard the term unalienable rights. I'm sure you've heard that, right? Well, you know, the proper way to say that is unalienable rights, okay? Alien. It's about property. You have unalienable rights because you own your body. Nobody has a lien on your body. You see what I'm saying? So, let's check out some other things here. Oh, yeah. The United States has been in a state of national emergency since March 9th, 1933. And I talked about that before, HJR 192. We're still in an emergency. We've never been out of an emergency. That's how they're able to do the things that they're doing, even though they're still not able to do it. Because every single law, every single anything that has been passed by any legislative body, by any authority of any kind, that is in direct confrontation with the Constitution is by definition unconstitutional. You don't have to follow it. Matter of fact, they should be in trouble. So when you start learning enough, you have the confidence to say, hey, you're stepping on my rights. I take that personally. Don't do it. It's not nice. Okay? You still act honorably. Act like a gentleman or a gentlelady. Don't yell. Don't get sarcastic. These people deserve respect. They're doing a job. They don't know they're doing horrible things to people. They don't get it. See what I'm saying here? So, here's more. Check out the Military Commissions Act. The Real ID Act, okay? These are all, I think these are acts that are total BS because, again, they're against the Constitution. Shepard's Citation, Marbury versus Madison. That is probably the most important case you could ever look up. Forget all the rest of them. Marbury versus Madison, okay? Your rights can never be turned into a privilege. A privilege is something that you need permission for. A right is something that you don't have to ask anybody to do. It's your right. Can you burn down your house on your land if you own the house? Yes. Now, how many people have been convicted of arson for doing that? Now if you're going to collect insurance, okay, now you're going against the law. Now you're trying to defraud somebody. That's against the Constitution. Now you're trying to deprive someone of their life, liberty, or pursuit of happiness or property. So once you get more into this, you start to understand how this all is connected. I mean, there's a lot of big words. Our founding fathers had run-on paragraphs that are, you know, sometimes you know, the way we speak nowadays, someone can make a statement or a sentence, and by the second sentence, if it's a run-on one, you know where they're going, right? With these, my founding fathers, you know, they would write 4 sentences and then go, you know, unless this, and you're like, okay, because it wasn't making sense before. Okay, so you got to get used to the nomenclature a little bit. It's not impossible. I've done it, okay? You have all the power. Get a copy of the Constitution. Read it. Know it inside and out, especially the Bill of Rights. The Constitution is your contract with your country. It is more powerful than the Supreme Court, the Congress, the police. It's more important. It's more powerful, and it has more authority than any entity on the planet. The only time that it can hurt you is if you have done something unconstitutional. Now you deserve it. Now you deserve exactly what you get. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm continuing to learn, so I'll do more of this. I might be focusing a lot more on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights here for a while, because this is the study that I am, you know, procuring and taking in right now. And really, like I said, you can use grammar. You can use admiralty. You know, you can get remedy by using the Uniform Commercial Code if you want to, but you're not under maritime admiralty jurisdiction. Your country is under your jurisdiction, which is the Constitution. Hope you guys liked it. We'll see you soon. Take care.